Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you? Happy morning. Happy morning.
Yes,
Let
it's
me
a
see if we're up on Facebook.
yeah, man. Nice, bright morning down in Jamaica here. A good morning for some ackee and saltfish and roast breadfruit. It would be a good morning for that.
Well, that is good for you. Up here is cold like ice. Other people gonna say I'm still Florida. Cold like ice.
Florida
So
cool.
yeah, horrible.
Hush. Could have been worse. At least you're not in New York or some other place where I hear is some bad, low temperatures that people don't like or even want to be associated with. So it could be worse.
Bad. I guess turned down.
Yeah, man. So I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, happy to be here. Thanks to everybody who's tuning in now. Remember to share, tell your family and friends to join in right now. We're going to have another lively discussion. We want your input.
Yes, we desperately need them input along the way. So what should we speak about? Should I start with the news?
Yeah, let's start with the news. What's happening to see?
All right, lots of news. Let us start close at home, and we could perhaps talk about Motley sworn in as Prime Minister after second landslide victory. Prime Minister Mia Motley, no, Prime Minister Mia Amor Motley said winning the election by a landslide once again puts a tremendous burden on her government. Perhaps true. Motley retained her position as the prime minister after her Barbados Labour Party swept the general election 30 to love on Wednesday. For the second successive election, opposition parties failed to secure any seats. She says, I have to be the government's chief opposition when necessary, because the one thing I know is that in any way I must not breach the oath of office which I took, and the people of this country must know the fairness, the value, the accountability that they need. Yes, they must know. The transparency which they require will always be part and parcel of the functioning of this government. Wow. Michelle.
Wow. But I'm telling you, I was so happy for her. Like, I was watching because when she called this snap election, like, I was like, what is happening in Barbados? Oh my God, she's having strong opposition. People didn't like her mandate when she moved to the Republic. You know, when they moved Barbados and formed the Republic, got rid of the Queen. So I'm like, maybe people upset about, what she did. And I was like, hopefully they don't vote her out. But I did not expect her to win everything, the entire 30. And the last time she actually won the entire thing, and one of her party members went across the aisle to the opposition, and then he lost his seat.
Yes, he lost his seat. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I suppose that a sound endorsement to say, hey, we are voting for Mia Amor Motley led Barbados Labour Party. And it's not so much that they were voting for that individual.
Yeah. And I guess it based on the numbers and what she won, based on what she has stated, that she wanted to be fair, she have to be the balance, like check herself to ensure that they're not violating other constituents, right? Like violating them. So she's being fair. And the fact that they all went out and voted for her again shows that she's a balanced person as a prime minister. Because if people were unhappy, they would, like you do have people that voted against her, but it's obvious that she's doing something right. And that's what you want from a leader.
Yes,
and it's a woman.
Yes. More so as a woman, right? We're not knocking the men out there, but we're celebrating the woman. So I really am celebrating that. All right, so we jump elsewhere. And
hold on, let me give some of the shout out before. Okay. So VM said, good morning, ladies. Valda said, good morning. Valda said, New York is freezing cold. Yeah, one of my girlfriends told me that it's freezing, like she's not leaving her house. Really? So I feel you. I'm not that bad, but it is bad. Julia said, good morning. Love to hear, ladies. Thank you. I appreciate it. Valerie said, good morning. Good morning. Patricia Barnes said, good morning, beautiful ladies. Hope all is well with you both. Happy Sabbath, everyone.
Yes,
And
happy Sabbath to you too.
yeah, VM said the opposition leader quit. Yeah.
The opposition
They mocked her.
quit long time.
Carol said, Carol Jump Graham said, Dr. Diana loved the new hairstyle.
No,
Angela said,
Carol, clearly you have been missing for a few weeks because girlfriend has been rocking this for a few weeks now. So come, man, come, catch up.
yeah. And Angela said, good morning, ladies from New Jersey. Good
Angela,
morning.
how cold is it down in New Jersey? Are it warmer than New York? What is it? What's the scoop?
Yeah.
Tell us.
Tell us. And before we move on to the next topic, so what do you think about the Prime Minister from Barbados winning all the seats? Because I know, like in Jamaica, they're saying it is not a good thing when, like how we have the JLP in power and they win majority of the seats, and we're saying it's not a good thing for democracy. So what do you think is the difference? Why we're applauding?
I think that we can applaud Barbados because the Prime Minister proved her credibility. She proved her accountability. She proved that there was no corruption. There is no corruption in her, how she operates. And there's equity for everybody across the board in Barbados. I think it's her proof by her government actions that enabled her to get.
I'm not hearing you. Did you go out? Let me see if it's my thing. See if it's my thing. Yeah, your speaker went out. Okay. Your speaker went out. Is everybody hearing Dr. Dana? Yeah, but
All right, are you hearing me now?
yeah, I'm hearing you now. I'm hearing you again.
Good microphone gone out.
So I guess just repeat what you were saying.
Right. I was saying that in Barbados, Prime Minister Mia Mottley has proven over the last administration to be accountable, to be credible, to not just her party faithfuls, but to the wider cross-section of Barbadians, that she has made decisions in the best interest of everybody without political favor. I think the reluctance in Jamaica is that we have no such historic data to look at to say, okay, fine, there is going to be equity, there's going to be full accountability, there's going to be an absence of corruption to make people feel, okay, yes, you can go ahead and put this in by this kind of a landslide measure. People not going to support that in Jamaica. We would not support that in Jamaica.
Yeah, I think I agree on that point. That is not good, but it had me thinking like why I was so happy for Barbados, because like we need people to oppose. But as you're saying, like, yeah, she does stand up for everybody. We're outside of Barbados, so we're just talking about what we're seeing. I don't live in Barbados, but based on what I'm seeing and the feedback is that she's fair and she tries to look out for the little man, everybody, to ensure everybody's getting the same treatment. And even for herself, she doesn't put herself above everyone. And even when she speaks, you get an understanding, like you have a leader that you can correspond with, that will listen to you and address issues. And that I agree.
You're right. You're quite right, Michelle, because you even want to get the feeling that she representing Caribbean, that she represents, beyond just her boundaries.
That is true, because we call her the Prime Minister of the Caribbean, right? Gosh, it's bad for us. Some more comments coming in. Beverly said freezing cold here in Skokie, Illinois.
Ooh.
22 degrees, feel like 8 degrees.
Ooh.
Carol said, yes, I have missed a couple weeks. Oh, no. Hope it wasn't for anything major. Angela said 16 degrees where I am. Anissa said, good morning. beautiful ladies, and welcome. Philip said good morning, and I said happy Sabbath, everybody. Valda said true, Michelle. It
Yes,
is true.
quite true.
Yeah.
Philip, we're happy to have you here. I saw you shouting out and giving praises and accolades to the health staff at the hospital. So want to join you in celebrating that. We're happy that you're here. Welcome again. And hey guys, share the link, call your friends up, make them join the conversation. I'm going to step outside of the
YouTube.
Yes, okay. And whilst you look there, see if you find anybody waiting. On the international scene now beyond our world of the Caribbean region, Austria has moved closer to introducing a compulsory vaccination order after Parliament's lower house voted in favor of new government proposals. The law, which is due to come into effect on 1st of February, would make Austria the first European country to introduce a mandatory jab, not job, jab. From mid-March, the law will see adults unvaccinated against COVID-19 subjected to fines of up to 3,600 euros. So that's about 2,995 pounds sterling. So far, 72% of Austrians have been fully vaccinated against the virus. The bill must now pass the upper house and must be signed into law by President. Steps largely expected to be mere formalities. Wow, a vaccination rate, fully vaccinated rate of 72%. Mish, that is 50% more than the vaccination rate in Jamaica.
Yeah, we laugh, but it's kind of sad. And I think it's just sad Jamaicans are not taking the vaccine. I just think it's always my opinion that it's already tapped out with who is going to take the vaccine. It has to be some miracle for people to take it. And as that country is doing, was it Austria?
Austria, yes. The sound live with the sound of music.
By requiring, make it a requirement for people to get the vaccine to increase the numbers, although their number is not that bad, would be the way to go for Jamaica. Because, but as you know, the government decided not to take that step because I guess it wouldn't be good. The fight back, I guess that's a battle they don't want to handle or to deal with. But that would be the only step. But I think it should be required for especially those who are in direct contact with a lot of people, like teachers, you know, the medical field, you know, like government buildings, like those people should, because we do see a lot of people getting infected and the breakout. But
and so supermarket people, to people who work in supermarkets should be vaccinated. Hotel and tourism and industry, those industries are quite a support you on that, Michelle. It should be mandatory at those levels, but I don't know, probably argument done.
No, well, the Prime Minister did come back and they did explain that's not what he meant. He's doing other things, like in regards to telling people to go take the vaccine and no more shutdowns, which I agree with, because you can't shut down and punish everybody because a majority is not taking the vaccine. We need to live, the economy need to keep going. Children need to be in school. And the fact that they're not taking the vaccine is the risk they're taking by saying, okay, I'm okay getting the COVID. But the thing is that you're hurting other people who are genuinely cannot get the vaccine, like children and, you know, people who are compromised and those who already have the vaccine. But if the numbers are telling them that the majority of those hospitalized and are dying are those who did not get the vaccine. So I agree with the Prime Minister on that level, that the economy should not shut down the whole, it doesn't work anyway, because as you see, they're still partying, they're still doing whatever.
Whilst I agree with what he has said and you're agreeing with him, On the other hand, you must say that you're not doing this, but this is what is going to be done. Austria is saying, you guys have not taken this vaccine. We're going to make it mandatory. We're going to have a fine put in place if you don't take the vaccine because of the risk to others and everybody else. We're fining you, and this is in place until 2024. It's not no 6-month thing, and then we're going to reconsider it. I think that what we need is some decisive, practical, research-led decision. So it's one thing to tell me, no, I'm not going to shut down, but what are you doing? You're not shutting down, but what are you doing?
Exactly. But I guess I don't know what they're doing, but my suggestion would be to expand the hospital capacity, which they should have done and should have been doing, knowing how Jamaicans are, and everybody knew that they would not be taking this vaccine. Like, we know this. So he should have had other things in place by expanding the capacity. Because I think last night they put out a notice that they're full with all the COVID beds are taken. And I think a few days before they said only for certain emergencies, no, like treatment. So it is pretty bad. And as you see, the doctors are burnt out and nurses, and a lot are deciding to leave the profession or migrate. So he needs to do something in order to get individuals to mine or work the hospitals, like either recruit the military, which in the United States, that's what they're doing. They're using the reserves to, take over some of the positions of the nurses and doctors.
Okay.
So he has to have other things in place. I don't know, but I support it. No more lockdown. No, it makes no sense.
Yeah.
I don't even think. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
And I'm agreeing with you. Yes, for me, no more lockdowns. But there must be another follow-up to it. No more lockdowns, because this is what we're going to do. And you mentioned about nurses being burnt out, and generally the health sector burnout. We talk about the fact that nurses are leaving in droves and doctors are leaving in droves. What is the other position on that? So when the chief medical officer speaks and said doctors and nurses are migrating and leaving the industry in droves, what is the plan? What is that plan on that side? We're going to be in dire straits.
Yeah, it is, because the plan would be to maybe make it attractive for them to stay. And I don't think they're doing anything. I haven't seen anything change since they did a little sick out last year. I didn't see much change. It's still the same conditions. So I don't think that group, the government, is a priority, although they should be the priority, because without them, Jamaica can't function. The economy will collapse. So that's something they have to also strengthen if they want the economy to keep going. But I don't know what they're doing. But let me read some comments. Joni said, good morning, Michelle and Dr. Diana. Carl said, good for Austria. Diana said, good morning, everyone. Just popping in to say hello. Please, someone in a warm country, please
hold
send
on.
warm.
Somebody from Austria. Carl should probably come and tell us what is his views on this new look by Austria. You notice, man, there Austria breeze over him, so I want to sing it.
No, I thought he was just saying good for them. I didn't know he lived there.
I thought he was Carl in Austria. Tell me for Austria there. I'm just okay.
Joseph right there. Diana said, love snow for skating and skiing, but this is too much. Diana also said, you are lucky. It is minus 18 Celsius in my neighborhood. Weather folks say it feels like a negative 28. Carl said, why hasn't Jamaica made it mandatory? Is it to save his political future, or could it be challenged constitutionally? Your PM has no clue with COVID-19 and crimes. He just decided not to do it. I don't think it's a constitutional thing, because I think somebody reviewed it and said it is okay to do it. But I guess that's not his thing. Peter said, what do you think, Dr. Diana?
They don't have no plan, Michelle. They
just have no plan. Good morning. Peter said, good morning. Vada said these grown people must stop behaving like little kids and take the vaccine and let's go back to our normal lives.
Yes,
Donnie said,
that is the idealistic position.
in a perfect world.
Perfect world, but until it becomes us as Prime Minister and President Michelle, Prime Minister David Smith, and Leo Justice Minister who's studying in book, it not gonna happen. Sorry.
Donnie said Austria is applying a similar approach as Singapore, where folks who do not take the vaccine are assessed fines and their health insurance are off limits for healthcare once they contract COVID-19 and variants. Need to see how that's working for Singapore since the edict was put in place. Okay. I'm not sure if that's the word. Carl said, no, I'm not. So Carl is not in Austria.
Oh,
Marie said,
send you down the door.
Marie said, good morning from Jersey. What is so bad about the vaccine that people refuse it? I guess it's all the myth that's been floating and the distrust of government.
Yeah, but it's unfortunate because so much effort has been put into attempts to educate and inform the public. I think probably because we never started with the vaccine right as the COVID thing started. So you jump on that, on that, impetus and that desire. And people then began to speculate that it do this and it do that and what it cannot do. And the wrong myths began circulating and it just get out of hand. Then you had people in the pulpit telling people, saying to Jamaicans, don't take it. And when the pulpit says some things, as we saw with Kevin Smith down in Montego Bay, people seem to listen when the pulpit, and by the time our pulpit wake up from their slumber and decided to talk about it in a serious way, the horse or the ASS had already gone through the gate.
Yeah, and not only the pulpit, but also some of the medical professionals were telling people not to get the vaccine. So usually sometimes the lie more believable than the truth. So if you have these people telling people and convincing people, then it's kind of hard now to recondition them and say, oh, you need to take the vaccine. And also with the history of vaccine and how they were tested on people in the past, some people are fearful of that. But we majority of people are taking it. And even to come to the United States now, everybody have to get the vaccine. So, like, they need to have these requirements, because if the US never required it, a lot more people wouldn't have gotten it, because you have to have it now. So they'll take it for the right reasons. But right now, I guess they don't see a good enough reason to take it. Jacqueline says, Marie says, good morning from Jersey. What is so bad about, we responded. Jacqueline said, explain taking a vaccine that doesn't keep you from getting or transmit the virus. Also, if you're contracted COVID, why would you get vaccinated when you have a natural immunity?
We've had some medical persons talk about that, Mish. You
exhausted it.
That. Yes.
100 times. We even had somebody a week ago. But the facts is there. You can't dispute the facts. It's best to get the vaccine. It does keep down going to the hospital. We know that obviously the vaccine is a protection. It doesn't, not gonna say you're not gonna get the COVID, but it protects you so your body can fight it if you do contract it. Not everybody have the luxury, as you see in the millions of people that died, that not everybody can handle the COVID attack.
Right. So not everybody's natural immune system can fight against the COVID virus, which is why people should take it. So you take the vaccine to introduce the virus into your system so that you're better able to defend against it. And when the data shows that when persons contract the virus, the COVID virus, after vaccination, it is not as adverse
Yeah.
on them. So it minimizes hospital stay if hospital stay is required at all. And it also allows the individual who contracts it to guard them against passing on the virus to people who are perhaps suffering from other illnesses who are likely to get it. And you don't know when you go to church who you're exposing to it because you have failed to take the vaccine, and you're just exposing the rest of the world.
Yeah, and the thing in Jamaica is because a lot of people don't do checkups, like people do their yearly checkups. So they really don't know what underlying sickness they have.
Right.
And then, it's not good if they get the COVID. Get COVID. So it's best to just protect yourself and your family. And also it reduces the burden on the hospital system if you do get it. Because as you see, a lot of people don't have to go to the hospital, so it's not a burden. So then people who really need to get treated for other ailments can get those treatments, right? And also the doctors will be less burnt out along with other healthcare workers. So it all around helps everybody if everybody just do their part. But it's still up to you to decide if you want to get it.
Yeah. And I don't think that our system can naturally fight everything. There are some things that we're not aware that our system won't defend us on it. Yes, it might defend us, but perhaps not to the greatest potential. And if we can introduce something that will help in that sphere, which is this vaccine, I have nothing to lose.
It's just a cocktail of proteins. Like there's no COVID in it. The COVID is not in it. It's just a booster to boost your body. Johnny said, sadly, Dr. Dana, check your WhatsApp real quick. Johnny said, sadly, social media with no scientific and research experience and credential once again has impacted common sense and people's rational, logical, and ethical approach to do the right thing. A lot of folks who migrated have been x-rayed. Why did this disappear? Have been x-rayed. Sorry, where was I? Vaccinated for tuberculosis, etc., and they willingly follow procedures to travel around the world. That is so true. And remember, you have to be vaccinated and immunized to go to school in Jamaica as a child. So I'm not sure what the major issue is. Kemi says, yes, Dr. Miss Diana, consider others if not yourself. No need to be selfish. Yeah, if everybody played a part, you play a bigger part in the whole system. And then, like everybody could get back to life. Your children could be comfortable going to school. You can, if you really want to party the right way, not hide from police, then get vaccinated. But it's still up to you.
Yeah, it's up to you at the end of the day. But we encourage it. On the show, we really use the opportunity to encourage people. We don't really need America for comfort. We say, if you want to come away country, then you have to go do the vaccine. Let us just do it for ourselves. Let us do it for our nation. Let us do it for those around us. Some we know, and some we never even like. But make we do it for which way.
Yeah, do it for us. Do it for your grandmother. Do it for your daughter who may be underage and her friends. Just do it. Because it's sad, like, no, the numbers are going up now again. And because of the new variant. Although people are saying, oh, it's mild, the healthcare and other professionals are saying we shouldn't just take it as, oh, it's mild, because it has long-term impact or effects, especially on children. So go out, do the right thing. Oh, sorry, I missed some comments. Michael said, should people who refuse the vaccine be refused treatment at hospital if they catch the virus?
No.
No, I don't think so, but they should be made to pay. They should not be refused, but they should pay out of pocket.
Yes, I think that they should be made to sign that as soon as they're able, they will return for the vaccine. I think that they should be made to pay for the hospital service. If the hospital service is usually free, they must be made to pay for it.
Yeah, pay for everything, the treatment, like log which the hospital should be doing, log everything and just send them a bill and take them to even court to make sure they pay that bill, since they want to be a burden. Marie said, I agree with you. they have no problem to vaccinate in order to travel. Dr. Diana said no. So I answered. Carl said, I have a friend in Jamaica, went to the doctor complaining about stomach issues. His doctor gave him an injection. I said, that's unusual. What's the injection for? He didn't know, but he refused to take the COVID vaccine.
Well, Carl, I am not going, Mr. Carl Addison Dillon, I'm not going to speculate that any doctor would do that to their patient who comes to them in good faith, and I certainly am not supporting it. So I hope it is that he got some injection for something else, a kind of a painkiller, but he give it to him as an injection so that it would be far more impactful immediately than the usual long oral doses of medication. So Carl, no come says that.
But it kind of makes sense now. That's why I think people are saying that they should have used the local doctors and the local facilities, because usually they trust these people. Yes. So when they tell them to take something, they'll do it. So that's what they've all been saying, instead of having a massive campaign by the government. But it is true, they oftentimes take medication. I remember one time I knew somebody that was taking medication in Jamaica, like they kept giving him pills. And then I think his daughter was a nurse and decided to take that list, the prescription, and look at it. And it was mostly Panadol in different forms. Like it was just painkillers in different forms. Yeah, and he was taking it through the years. And then actually, which was sad though, is that when he actually came to the US and did a thorough review, like analysis, it was a serious illness that he had, that he was, getting. So yeah, they do listen, and they need to just take the vaccine. They take everything else, every concoction. I remember I went to this show in Jamaica and they had a bottle, the people make the roots and people don't really know what's in it.
Nobody knows what's in there.
And they just buy it up and drink it up. So they can. A lot more comments are coming in. Trevor said, the issue is it is a bag of lies surrounding the vaccine. It doesn't do what they say about it, and it's not a vaccine. We have proof that it does, but thank you for your opinion, Trevor. Joni said there are folks who believe they have. One person even told me that they were super immune. I was astounded by that statement. Nevertheless, those who refuse to immunize will bear the consequences, from slight discomfort to needing to stay in the ICU with or without a ventilator, and possibly the ultimate penalty, death. Folks are impossibly selfish. Donna says, I totally agree with you, ladies. The pandemic has made me realize how selfish mankind have become, especially here in the States. They keep saying they're constitutional. She meant constitutional right not to.
Yeah.
Gregory said, how about the Viagra treatment?
Well, we don't know, Gregory. Tell me about it.
Tell us more.
I have no clue on that zone. Oh my gosh, that's an interesting diversion into COVID and why not take a vaccine and why take a vaccine. But at the end of the day, I think that it is important for us to encourage those around us who have not taken the vaccine to do so. And for those who refuse, really just cannot be convinced, just keep yourself safe, be mindful of those around you, and as much as possible, don't interact. But Michelle, you wonder if we ask the US government if they would give everybody visa, if everybody would take it?
Well, they would run and take it. Like listen, I've had people say to me, I'm not taking the vaccine, I'm not taking it, as in I do immigration. And when they passed that law, I said, okay, the law was passed. Now everybody has to take the vaccine. And if you have to do a medical, you have to get the vaccine. No argument. Mm-hmm. I just see people doing their medical. No conversation after that. Before they had a big, no, I'm not taking it. But yes, they will do it for the right reasons.
Yes.
People will do stuff, but you have to have the right reasons and, the right thing. Gregory said the internet has it that Viagra is a cure once you have COVID. No, they said the same manufacturer. that does a vaccine. Just
You know, Gregory, it's the same thing somebody said up earlier that we listen to too much foolishness in social media and we believe we're too gullible. We listen to almost everything on it. Everybody's an authority. Who on the internet is an authority? Somebody who sit down in their room, put on a little jacket with them name on a tag where them print out at some printing shop and throw it on, deepen them voice and pretend to be, hi, I'm Dr. So-and-so with how many years of experience at such and such a place. Them don't even know where it is. And then we just buy into it. Look here, go about your business, Gregory.
But don't be taking the Viagra, people. You don't want, you know
And
what
then
happened.
how would that help us women? Because isn't Viagra something that men take? So Gregory, what is our solution then? We must dead and uno that is strong hearty and firm.
And firm.
What is this? I don't get it. Come, Gregory. Oh gosh. Anyway, let us take some good news for Clarendon. And I noticed that poor Trelawney had some major bad news yesterday, but there's all around good news for Clarendon. So all in the Clarendon people, get ready. Edwin Allen wins first football title. Edwin Allen High School created school history on Friday after they came from behind to beat former champion States 3-2 at the States Complex to lift the Ben Francis Knockout Cup. Follow me. So that is Edwin Allen. Everybody know where Edwin Allen
they beat them on their own ground.
Yes. Oh, so them beat States and collect the Ben Francis Cup. This is Edwin Allen. I'm gonna write it down if you don't know where Edwin Allen is from. Listen to the next news. Cousins hat trick seals Gavi Masio Da Costa Cup glory. Gregory Cousins' leadership by example brought Gavi Masio High School their first ISA Da Costa Cup title since 2007. Hear me. They won 5. Cousins, the team captain, produced a hat trick, while his teammate Cleo Clark had a brace for the Cubans. 5-love win over Manning's school at the States Complex on Friday afternoon. It was a good day for the school from Clarendon. Yeah. All right, next story. Clarendon College are the 2021-2022 Champions Cup winners. Clarendon College captured their first hold on the ISA Championships Cup knockout title after a 1-love victory over Dintil Tech at the Stadium East earlier this week. That was last Saturday. So, you understand the trajectory, Miss Michelle? Everybody know what is happening here?
Congratulations, Clarendon, making it out during the pandemic. But let's be clear, people. I celebrate Clarendon. But let's be clear, there'll never be a Trelawney. You know what? Why? We had the fastest runner, Usain Bolt. We had Veronica, right? And we have the best high school for women. Raise the best woman, Westwood High School. So Clarendon will never be Trelawney.
And Gregory says, big up Glenmuir, because by some virtue of some calculation, and the truth is, Gregory, I don't appreciate the calculation process, and we can talk about it one day. Glenmuir is listed as the top school in the island, and Glenmuir is from Clarendon as well, just in case it escaped anybody. No. So we have Gavi, we have Clarendon College, we have who is the other one there?
So you don't even know, so it's not a good school then.
Edwin Allen. No, man, it's Edwin Allen.
Edwin Allen, good track and field.
All three of them wrapping up all the football stories in schoolboy football. Them just wrap it all up.
Congratulations, though. Congratulations. Yes. We had a few comments on the COVID. Angela said, I am not vaxxed and contracted COVID from a vaxxed person. I survived with little or no side effects. I am religiously exempt from this vax. Okay, I'm glad you recovered. I'm glad it worked out for you. I'm glad. Gregory said, yes, but it's said often enough people will follow. just like the fool that said to drink bleach. Noreen said, I have a friend here in the US who is
Because
recovering from
we could call
COVID.
a big millionaire, wannabe millionaire,
Eh.
billionaire, but no fool, you know.
Noreen said, I had a friend here in the States who is recovering from COVID. She was in a hospital. She was told if she wasn't vaccinated, it would have been serious.
Yeah, that's true.
Gregory said, big up Glenmere. Patricia said, oh my God, these guys are so hilarious. Shaking my head. Maxine said, this is not a pandemic, it's a pandemic. Y'all need to pay attention.
Okay.
Sandra said, good morning, my beautiful people.
Hey,
Trevor
Sandra,
said,
wake up. Oh, good to see you,
you
darling.
finally wake up. Trevor said, why do we compare this so-called vaccine with original vaccine? The original vaccine eradicates the disease. It does not. Plus, it kills more people than any other combined.
Trevor, bring the data and we will have that discussion with the experts.
Yeah,
Trevor,
that expert.
No sense. That is.
Well, we can't say that make no sense. It has this point, but
no, Trevor, take yourself one that the one there.
No, but I just his knowledge of it. But I guess when he had chicken pox, a lot of people were dying before it came under control. When you had the Spanish flu, a lot of people died before, they figured out. But I guess now we're living through it now. So we're not gonna see that it's eradicated. So maybe in 10 years or more when it is. But bring us your facts, Trevor. Every opinion is good.
Yes,
we never.
But also we have to recognize that we live in an age where information is the information age and news travels flow and we can get the information in no time. I'm sure more people died, and even if more people have died now, what was the population of the world then, or even particular versus where what's the population of the world now? So let us look at all the parameters, without any biases or prejudices. So Trevor, we don't mind having a debate with you, but right now that don't make no sense. Come again, man. Shame on you. We know that.
Well, as I said, I value people's opinion. That's his opinion based on the knowledge he has. And as he said, we have to have a discussion with a medical expert to bring it together. So we can't rubbish him. It's just
we're not
what he has from his level. From what he knows.
No, he knows more than that. I'm sure he knows more than that. He just needs to go back and look. Let us consider all the data as surrounding it. He said that more people have died than before. What was the population then compared? What is the movement compared? Over what time did they gather that data? Over what period have we gathered this data? And the truth is that I can't find any document that tells me that this has killed more people than any other disease combined, which is what
we don't know, because the Spanish flu was really deadly.
Exactly.
Kian said, good morning, guys. It's been a while. Yeah, it has been. Jerry said, hello from Britain. Cara said, rubbish, Trevor. Let's not be attacking people now. Johnny said, agree, Dr. Diana, we need to see the data on that research, the instrument and theory behind the results. Thank you, Joni. Erica said, if you refuse to take the vaccine, then you are taking a chance with COVID. Sure, you may survive it, but you may also be the person who has complications and die, or infect somebody that will get complication and die. Marcia said, good afternoon, beautiful ladies. Loving the show as usual. Thank you, Marcia.
Thank you.
I said, don't brag now. You don't brag about Clarendon. We can move on.
Well, just for the information, for those who just joined, we wrap up all. Clarendon wash up all of the football trophy. Clarendon will say, and Glenmere take care of everything else. All right, fine. So let us move on since Michelle. Since Michelle a bad mind, Clarendon around here today. You know what happened, Michelle? And it's probably a little Trelawney matter. Corey, you remember Corey? Corey, who is the chief man, the Maroon chief. They had a meeting and them leave out Corey, excluded from talks with Maroon chiefs. I saw it as a news thing. I don't know that we wanted to talk about it today, but it something is wrong with that equation for me. Sorry. Corey says Holden's administration excluded him from talks with Maroon chiefs. a maroon chief. No, I just can't imagine Prime Minister Mia Mottley having a discussion with a group of people and would have left out the chief,
Okay, all right, okay.
I don't know. So, but I don't have all the facts, so I just leave it there.
Yeah, but well, the facts is there. He had a meeting. He did not include Curry. So, and we all know about Curry, right? He has issue with Curry, unless the meeting is to destabilize, to get rid of Curry. But Curry was the main individual he had an issue with. And he was the one that was calling to have a sit down with him to discuss, go over, to see if they could hash out and come to a mutual agreement of respect for each other and how to move forward. He has decided to slight him by saying, no, I'll not talk to you. And I guess his spokesperson, Nesta Morgan, said something about his posture, like they will not, I guess, deal with him because of his posture, how he is. But I think it's wrong for him to do that. It is sending the wrong message. And I look at it much deeper in that I'm saying, all right, so he disagreed with the prime minister on a position. And instead of trying to work out this position, he's saying, I am not going to have any conversation with you. You do not exist. And we have seen the attack on Curry now of him being a madman. He should go to his whatever and other things. Like the narrative has changed where everybody's attacking Curry, right? So this now we're saying, and where people are cheering this, but what happens when you have an issue that needs to be addressed that the prime minister does not care for, and you are like, you want him to address it, and he's saying like, you know what, I don't care, I'm going to move on, go around you. No, we can laugh now, but we have to look at the bigger picture, what it is saying about the future. The opposition has tried to meet, to have discussion. He has refused. The healthcare people have been going on forever before. No really major sit down addressing their issues. So this is, to me, is a trend, and we should not be applauding this. He's the prime minister. Yes, have a meeting, discuss it. If it doesn't work out, fine, but have a meeting. But the major issue is Trelawney is where the cockpit is, and that is where they want to mine. Yes. So that is the other maroons where they are. I've never heard the government having any interest. I didn't even know they had other maroons.
Yes.
Like they still existed. Well, we don't know what is happening in those areas, but we know what is happening in the cockpit. Yes. The cockpit is where they want to mine. The cockpit is where they say we need to go into to find out what resources are in there, so we could take it from the people. So my issue is that, like, it is bigger than just Curry. I think they want to get rid of him. That's just my opinion.
Well, I want to put a Jamaican twist to it, that it's a matter of, I don't know, the prime minister refusing to meet with somebody who is in leadership. The prime minister refusing to meet with somebody with whom he has a differing opinion. How does that translate to the ordinary man around the corner who has a difference with his brother? A difference in opinion?
Exactly.
What is the action that we're saying? We're not talk about it. We're not talk about it. Yeah. Then how do you expect people to engage the police? How you expect us to engage in differences when we're on the roadways?
How you see what's happening?
Engage in classrooms when young boys have issues, or husband and wife have issues. It is leading to violence. That is what it is leading to.
Exactly. I see what's happening already. Nobody talking. Nobody having a conversation. Your bad drive, me take out my gun, me shoot you, or me stab you. You're having an argument with your spouse to sum up the person. You know what I mean? Very dismissive.
Can be like that. And we're trying to teach in our schools cooperation. You're trying to teach collaboration. We're all agreeing that people are not socially, emotional, intelligent. We're not relating to each other the way we ought to do. These are the little things that matter. Our leadership need to recognize that every action matters. And you can't say to do something and you not doing it. You can't expect us to embrace, adopt, and walk and be amicable and restorative in our approach with everybody, and we're not. When you have
they're
an
not
opportunity,
setting any example.
you don't take it. No, man, you know, right?
Yeah, they're not. Like they're
Can't be
not.
about
They're not.
all the time.
They're not setting any example, and they're complaining about the younger generation or out of hand they are, disrespectful and crime. In Parliament, you see one walking out when another Parliament or senator stand up to speak. You see one walking out. What kind of example? No, the Prime Minister refused to meet with a citizen who is in a leadership position. That's disrespectful.
We shouldn't hear about that. We shouldn't even hear about that. He should have meet with the man.
Shouldn't have.
Them don't have to agree, but them can disagree.
How about sit?
But be amicable and show to the country.
How about 6
how
feet
you can
exactly
show the country. Show us
the
all.
country. But yeah, and the fact is that, like, all right, we figured it didn't meet with him, right? But then to make a statement as to why, and it's not a statement on any basis that you're saying it is as that, it's just saying, oh, his posture. Yeah. You know, like how, like, oh, you better humble yourself, or you know, like
attitude. What happened? So don't object. If you object to anything, your posture is wrong.
Yeah, but this is not good, and it is sending the wrong message. But a lot of comments are coming in.
Okay.
Carl said, these are the false information that people with ulterior motive are spreading to people who are not that educated. Big up Clarendon. Johnny said, wow, what is going on with the Maroons? That is a big disrespect. Gregory said, for the conspiracy theory, you may notice before the pandemic.
No, Gregory, we're gonna start.
Yeah, can we move on, Gregory?
Gregory, you know, we're gonna get you on the show one day. Please send us your details, or we're gonna have your co-host.
I'm gonna have some professionals.
Yes, to come and
in the field.
But we're not taking on.
All right. Angela said one has to be mentally and physically prepared where the virus is concerned, and a lot of persons are not, even if they are back. That is true. Joni said, correct, Michelle. The bigger picture is not pretty if this sets the precedent, starting with the Maroons. That is true. It's not a good look for Jamaica.
Divide and rule.
Trevor said, you're so right. He's representing people just like Andrew. Carl said, Maroon in Moortown, at the Charlestown, Portland, Cockpit, Trelawney, and Accompong in St. Elizabeth. They all need to work together. There should be no division. And that's a point that I thought of yesterday too. Thank you for raising. I forgot it. If he had called the other Maroons should have said, where is Corey? We will not have a sit down without Corey. So you know what? I think history repeating itself with them sellout. But we'll see what happens.
We don't understand fully, so probably because not labeled.
Yeah, we see. We don't understand, but they shouldn't have had a meeting without Corey. So that's just the fact. We're saying the meeting, they should have had a sit down with Corey. We don't know what they're going to discuss. We don't know what it was about, but all the Maroons should have stood together and attended that meeting. If one was left out, if one left out, they said we will not attend until he's present.
And that is the kind of unity that we need across, as educators, as women, as parents. This is a kind of unity that we need now to get us through all the challenges. Because
what we're going through.
Yes, there are going to be more.
We have to be united. VM said Jamaica first, guys. Exactly. We need to put Jamaica first. People need to stand together.
Remember we party Jamaica first.
Yeah, that's true. Joni said, correct, Dr. Diana, the 3 C's, communication, cooperation, and collaboration, are very important for survival and success. True. That is true. Joni always just summarize everything.
Yes, ma'am, I tell you, Joni, just
Joni. We have to bring it on, Joni. Sandra said, well spoken, PM Diana. We need Jamaica first, desperately and immediately. Sandra said, check your YouTube, please, my loves. I'm gonna check it right now. It wasn't up. Let me check right now.
Well, you have to catch up, and we need to apologize, folks, on YouTube. I don't know how to manipulate all of these things, but I'm going to have next week another gadget. And if that other person who used to be on the show did send the good phone, go give the other person who we know.
Not true.
It would have
Need
been
the
better. But we're not making it.
Still
We
not.
love you guys on YouTube. Michelle, please share their comments.
Okay. Oh, it's a lot of comments. Oh, sorry. Oh, we have to catch up. Beverly Frey said, good morning, ladies. Beth Frey here, hot in Miami. I'm jealous. Sharon Watson said, the people of Barbados spoke. They wanted a fair and credible government that represents all of Barbados. Marvet said, good morning, beautiful ladies, both looking fabulous this morning.
Marvet, we tried.
Yeah. People on YouTube, I apologize. I couldn't pull it up, but now I'm on. Sorry, still tuning in. Beverly said it's interesting that Jamaicans won't take that vaccine when Jamaicans tell them, but when other countries demand it, they fall in line. The foreign mind mentality is our Achilles heel. Yes. That is true. Beverly, how can you expand hospital capacity when you don't have resources to staff and provide
no
care?
Nurse, no doctor, no
that trained. That is true. Sharon Watson said they don't have the resources to expand. The government should mandate testing for all businesses that deal with the public 3 times a week for those who are not vaccinated. Sharon said YouTube doesn't exist for them. Going to watch the swearing in first. Oh my.
No, come back. Oh, I apologize. Oh, darling.
Sharon laughing. Every last one of them would get vaccinated if the price is right, especially a US visa. Sharon said narcissistic behavior. Sorry, people. I couldn't pull it up, but now we're up live. Beverly, come back. Come back.
Come back to me. There's a song, but I don't sing as well as Leo, and we wouldn't be right singing it to you. But come back to us, Bev. We apologize. We sort it out now. Thanks.
Well, I said, baby, come back.
Yes, baby, come back. Joni says on Facebook, that's the divide and conquer approach. Let's hope that they aren't having separate discussions with each Maroon chief and pitting them against each other. Joni, Joni, is not a far-fetched idea. Unfortunately, it's not a far-fetched notion or idea.
Yeah, let's hope we don't have an all-out war. My God, a Maroon war. Let's hope we can keep it together.
We can't fight them the kind of war, so make us just leave that right there. So there's one other matter, Joni, as we're on the matter of education and the 4 C's that I want to get into the news on it. There was a report that was done on the reform of education in 2021 report. And this was a report which was commissioned by the government to Orlando, by the Prime Minister to Orlando Patterson. And Orlando made his report to the Prime Minister. And something which has been on the lips of everybody in Jamaica since this report came out is one of his findings. The chair of the commission, Professor the Honorable Orlando Patterson, gave an overview of the report, says that there is a serious learning crisis in Jamaica. This, he said, is reflected in data from the 2019 primary exit profile examination results, which indicate that a majority of students at the end of primary school education remain illiterate, innumerate, and most are leaving secondary school with no marketable skills. He says that the 2019 PEP results show that almost 60% of students were failing mathematics, that 33% could not read, that 56% could not write, and 60% exhibited a difficulty in comprehension. Swallow that. Make on that just sink in. 60% of students were failing math. 33% could not read. This is from the PEP 2019 results. 56% could not write, and 60% can't comprehend. In mathematics, well over 60% are failing. The same goes for science and language arts, less so in social studies compared with girls who are doing much better. We take no comfort in the fact that the girls are doing much better. It is alarming, Michelle. I don't know what to think, but as an educator, as a parent, as a Jamaican living in Jamaica, what happens when these 2019 students finish their 5 years of of high school, two of which have been online, and there has been less than 40% interaction during that 2-year period? What when they're done school?
It's a sad situation, a dire situation that I was thinking while you were reading, why did they change the structure they had before in regards to why they introduced the PEP? Like, what was the goal of PEP? Like, why? Do you know why? I know you've been in the education field.
I don't know why. For me, never seen nothing wrong with common entrance for starters.
I didn't either, because I never understand why when something works they always try to change it. Is it in this instant it hasn't changed for the better, because we could see, like, we didn't need a report to tell us what is really happening. Like, we could see in regards to comprehension how people are handling things
and mental ability.
We can tell. Yeah, we could tell. Yeah, so it is sad, and I don't know how they're going to correct it, because it dire. And this is why even before this, people, you notice how people are gullible, as we've been saying, to getting this information and not really taking the time to analyze it, to figure out, to do research, to understand the truth of anything. So that is why people just put out certain information, because they know people run with it. And this is what problem we're going to have. But how can they change it? Are the teachers not learning how, before however they learn the art of teaching? Are they teaching them to teach, to educate these people so they are children, so they are functional in society? Were they able to analyze and think? Or they're teaching them just for them to pass through a class? Like, you train them just to pass maths or to pass English, but they don't really learn the analytical portion of it, as they say, comprehension. Because how they're going through high school? How I'm seeing all these high pass rates of CXC, and I said something was wrong, because in my time it was so difficult to get these passing grades, and now it's like everybody A111. So it's like they just learn how to pass these exams, and that is it. So what can be done? You're in education. You're the what can be done? What
Let me tell you, first we have to start by starting to teach our children. We have to encourage parents themselves to become educated. And then we have to provide the resources that everybody needs in order to get a fair education. So rather than be preparing students just simply to pass an exam, get a passing score so that they can get placed at whichever other institution, rather than making the business of being a teacher such a low-end, unrewarding adventure, give some incentives to educators, meaningful incentives, so that people get into the profession, not because there is nothing else to do, them can't get nowhere else, and then can make them become teacher. When we begin to recognize and pay people a fair income so that they can concentrate on what it is that they're doing, we're not going to move any further. When it is that the business of education is to educate rather than to move from one stage to the next, we're not going to get any further. So we need some changes.
Yeah, something needs to happen, because I'm just comparing to when I went to school, and like, my mom is a teacher. She's been teaching for 40 years. She was never ever paid well. I don't know how she survived, but she did teach from the heart. She did have her students as a priority, and the feedback from her students who are doctors, whatever they do, they can always attest to how she's taken the time. She go into school early to make sure they do lessons after school. She worked with them directly to ensure that everybody can at least pass, a class.
Yeah,
So
but
I don't think the pain, you have to have the heart. It not happen
It's not
anymore.
happening because the same teacher now have to not having enough money or even enough support in her community where she's getting any respect or any support where somebody are gonna bring something for her and no say a teacher make me carry 2 piece of
Yeah.
yam or something for
And
that.
she used to get that.
Way without any judgment, say, we are maybe care to banana get a girl for she never before she can fix them not see it as contributing to her well-being. She have a struggle about paying her light bill and her water rate and putting meal on her table whilst balancing a meager income of 90,000 at best or less, 60,000, 50, $40,000 a month. Them have all the same needs.
Yeah, and another thing I was thinking, because I remember when I went into grade 6, right? I met up with children who were way older than me, still in grade 6. Why? Because they couldn't pass the exams, so they didn't move them forward. You had to repeat the class and you had to stay there until, and if you max out pass, like if you can't pass a common entrance, I think there was an
grade
exam.
9 achievement test.
Yeah, that you did to move on to the next level. And there you still had to wait your turn. You can't move forward. Remember in high school, we couldn't move forward. If you didn't pass your classes, you had to leave the school and go to another school, or you repeat the class. They weren't pushing you through just because to push you through.
Yeah, you turn that and you have to leave, or you do 1 year and you move to the next one. There is no caring. Miss, go to YouTube for we have to care.
Okay, yeah. YouTube, no comments, but Facebook comments coming in. Divide and Conquer, good morning. Lorna said good morning. Lovely ladies, Mr. Thunder of Leo's voice. I'll let him know you miss the thunder of his voice. Kamish said, Miss Diana, I have knowledge of that firsthand. It breaks my heart.
Yeah.
Johnny said, oh my, so like there's something going on. What are the teachers doing? Who is promoting these students to the point of graduating or moving to another level? Exactly.
The system, Jody, is not the teacher them, and it is unfair to judge the teachers about the success or the failure of these students. I've been thinking about it. Do we assess the teachers based on the performance of the students? There's so many other pieces to the puzzle that are not in place. There is no support network. There is not sufficient income. The teacher, like everybody else, have a struggle and balance her social issues. What is that social support network that the teachers can tap into? I don't think that I'm blaming the teachers fully on this.
Yeah, no. I blame them, some teachers. And I guess because, as I said, I've seen what my mother has done. Like, you can't take your personal, like, you have your profession. Like, even with me, you have your profession. You can't take your personal stuff and not do your job. And I remember back then, I remember my mom used to go crazy. I'm not sure what time of the month, because she's getting an assessment. Somebody from the ministry,
yes,
always coming by to make sure your class is it's a particular way. The children, and they just watch you the entire day, but you don't know when they're coming.
Yes.
So yeah, back in her time, she had to actually write out her syllabus every Sunday night.
Lesson plan.
For him to review, right? But those are things that they were doing. So they had to ensure that things were in place, the students were learning, and they monitored them. So I'm not sure if it's been done now, but in a different way. But the teachers take pride because they wanted to have the best students going out. But let me read some more.
Yes.
Okay. Joni said precisely, it's the licky mentality of following foreign things. Kemisha said Jamaica was among one of the best when it relates to education. When I migrated to the States in the 90s and had to skip ahead because I had already passed the courses. That is true. Carol said, same thing in England, exam factories. Joni said, sadly, Jamaica has adopted the US approach to just take tests and pass without using comprehension and rationalizing concepts. We went from competitive dunce.
Yeah, competitive to dunce like that.
Yeah, you have some are doing well. Carl said, do you have the public information? Carl, we move on from COVID now.
But Carl, we will find if you answer Negogio, yes.
Yeah. Kemi said, let's be honest, you cannot teach and enforce what is unknown. Parents no longer back up teachers. That's true. They fight against them.
Yep.
Erica said, Angela, Augustus, people need to prepare themselves mentally and physically for the virus because there is no end in sight for the different variant. People just don't want to believe that the data of unvaccinated people as opposed to vaccinated people. Carr said, I completely agree with you. Seems as though education has taken backward steps towards, compared to say 2 decades ago.
Yes.
CXC seemed downgraded from GC O level. Kemisha said the pandemic should open everyone's eyes. Teaching is hard.
Yeah, Judge
Just
Brown.
said,
Okay.
Caring starts at home. And if the parents don't care about their children's education, how can the teacher care?
Mm-hmm.
Johnny said, we are seeing teachers who are passionate about teaching subjects, lighting and enlightening students and pupils aspire. What happened? Where are the Jamaica vocational and trade schools? Carl said, parents are missing.
Sadly,
Lawson said,
true.
That is true.
Quite sadly true.
Yeah.
But why are they missing? Big question though, Carl, is why are they missing? They're missing because they have to work twice as hard, even harder to meet the basic needs because we're not into the whole family support system and network as we used to have. That is really what has happened. So everybody has to double down and struggle that much harder. And some of them just don't know.
Yeah. And Lawton says, I might date myself. However, when I went to school, I had a mind to learn. What is wrong with the students of today? Johnny said, Dr. Diana, no judgment of teachers. We have to look at all sides. Everyone is accountable. That is true. They're all accountable.
Yes, everyone is accountable, Johnny, and I agree with you on that. But I find increasingly that there is this discussion about tagging performance to teachers' compensation as a conversation. And I have a problem with that because it's not incorporating the support that they get at home. It's not incorporating the social systems that underpins the student's performance. Is there a meal available for the student at school? Is there a meal available for the student at home? Does the student have good internet? Does the student have the capacity at home to have a laptop or something to facilitate the learning? Can the student even go out of them house on the weekend for go down to the library?
Yeah, we used to go library per weekend, remember?
Yes, every Saturday morning you get up and go on a library after you've done the things. You have X hours, you go to a library. Can they go? Can they leave their community and come back late? Can they go and study down at their friend's house for 2 hours and come back in the night? What is that social support system? We have to.
Erica said, how are the students passing the class test? Noreen said, no child left behind in the US. Michael said, I used to use my own money to provide essentials for my needy students. Yes, my mom used to do that every trip she make. Even now, one suitcase full of pen, pencil, book, shoes, everything for students.
Michael, we still do that. When I go, I gather my friend them old phone and tablet and laptop and haul them back here so people can get an opportunity. Yeah. Yes, and we go to the dollar store and buy all these
dollar store charts and everything. Kemit said, Miss Diana, I'm a parent who pops up. We need to show up when it matters. Yeah, I go through everything. Kemit said, Parent Teachers Association is still a thing. It takes a village. That is true. The other day, somebody was telling me, as we talk about parent teacher, like the entire parent teacher meeting on Zoom was about politics. And I'm like, that is not what Parent Teachers Association is. It's about the students and what the parents can do to assist. Not about leave government politics out of it. Leave the politics out of it.
You see, Michelle, said, before we go to Joni, that is indicative of the value system, that we have it all wrong, because when a parent can come on a PTA meeting and not have questions or issues about their child's learning or how they can support their child's learning, but instead to talk foolishness about politics, when I help them not see, don't help them, except that them sign up with Jamaica First. Joni says, Dr. Dan, I totally agree. What can be done via Jamaica First? Let's put our heads together on this. Joni, that's true. we need to pick a project for Jamaica first for this year. We need to pick a number of things, but let us talk about it next week, Saturday. Everybody think about it. If we could do 1 or 2 projects in Jamaica before the start of the school term, is it education that we want to look at? And I think we should, because it's needed. So yes, we're game on that. Jamaica First needs to become a registered thing. People need to sign up and indicate their membership. I'm going to set up a web page and all of that. I'm going to talk to my IT man about that later. Jamaica First starting. Yes, everybody need to join it. This is a new party. Jamaica First. We're virtual. We're taking care of things virtually. Yes,
yeah, we're not seeing no comment on YouTube.
Michelle, look good enough for me. No one, nobody. We left them off, look good.
Yeah, yeah. I don't see anybody, but I see people tuning in. Thank you.
Kamisha is saying education with all kind of excitement. So I think Jamaica First. People, are you agree the project needs to be education? We'll check in with our Tuesday night folks as well to see if we agree on that. So we focus on
education has to be it, man.
All
because
right.
No way. You see how Jamaica turn. No, man, something needs to be done. No, urgently.
Clive says libraries are dinosaur. You can find everything on Google. Liar, tell Clive you want one library.
I see children there.
I want like a corner, joke can make no dinosaur. Library still a keep.
Yeah, it's still because the other day, yeah, man, the library still a keep because the other day when I was in Jamaica, I needed the internet, like internet act up, and I went to the library to use it.
To get access. You see that, Clive? It served different purpose.
They were so helpful. We had a spot, but the library was actually full of students who were doing lessons. Like you had some teachers on their break that were doing lessons around the library. So, like they use it so they could have internet access. So yeah, man, library is still a key. People go use the library. If you don't have internet, go use the library.
All right. Clive says, Michael says, I think Jamaican teachers are scared of the internet replacing them, which it will. And it won't replace them in Jamaica eventually. It's going to take a long time because we don't have that level of connectivity. And Jamaicans have a propensity not to like fully online interactions. So they're not very successful at online school or online certification and training. We still enjoy that interaction that we get from having face-to-face. So it's going to take a long time before we catch up with that.
It's something about face-to-face because being on the computer all day, it's not, and that's what we need to get the children away from too. And I guess that's why they're not doing a lot of critical thinking because they're too much reliant on the computer. Tablet, playing games and all these things.
Yeah.
Okay, where do you stop? Kian said, I'm always thinking about the students of Jamaica and how they are moving forward, especially those who are from the poorer community. They're faring well. It's hard, but they are faring well because you have a lot of people who are helping. And it's good. It's also good because now you have like the local politicians, some of the councillors who are really good now at highlighting those areas that are having issues, and the teachers themselves, because I know the principal. I can talk about what I'm familiar with. Like I know the principal, like from Wakefield, which is a rural, Wakefield in Trelawney was the sugar belt, but but he's making an effort to try where he reach out to everybody who can help to give back to the school, whether painting, whether tablets, whether anything to give back and help the students. And I think he had a chicken coop where they laid eggs. Yeah.
To support them and provide breakfast. All right.
So they try. They have some good teachers and principals. So not all are bad. VM said, yes, education. Kemi said, in the States, I bring my kids every month to the library. Johnny said, I need to get notifications for Saturday and Tuesday shows. Still not getting the live. I'm not sure how. I have to ask Leo because he's the expert. So I'll have to ask him. Carl said, oh my God, there are so many issues. It's depressing. I wasn't born in Jamaica, but I have knowledge because of family members. Jamaica today is worse off than it was in the 70s. Parents are more concerned about which phone their kids have and fashion, less about education. Going to school to abuse teachers. Government policies doesn't help them either. When children have more rights than teachers. That is fair statement and assessment. Kemi said, sorry for all the comments. No, we don't mind, Kemish. We are passionate too. Sorry for all the comments. Education is my passion. It is sad. It has to change. Yes. Delia Jackson said, yes, education. Yes, man, it needs to improve. And we can see how it's impacting our society. This explains a lot within our societies. Lack of initiative, the ignorance of people not knowing how to settle their disputes without getting violent. And we need to hold those we put in power accountable to make education a priority. We see everything else a priority except education, which needs to get a lot more funding. I don't know if we need any more audits because there's supposed to be a lot of reports. Luckily, this report came from quickly, but we have a lot of reports that I guess they could visit those reports and see the recommendations that were made and see if they'll be helpful. I don't think they should waste
someone
money.
upon that they think the truth.
Yeah, I do another report.
Everybody already said things crash, education heading down. So, but sometimes they just need a new face or a new figure to tell them the same thing that we already know and probably denying. Michelle?
Okay, let me just for one question quick. Johnny, Leah said you have to subscribe on our YouTube channel at Leah Gillings, or you have to like Jamaicans.com on Facebook. And once you subscribe and like the show, the notifications will pop up when the show starts. Okay? For those who are just tuning in, that's how you'll get the show. So subscribe to our YouTube on the Leah Gillings Show, or you can go on Jamaicans.com and like.
We are on Facebook, right?
Yeah, and yeah, Joni said, mindset for certain things, not just face-to-face, need to get into the habit of sourcing via the web. They can watch videos, make comments on live TV shows, TikTok, etc. So folks can adapt for educational purposes. Not all information has to be live.
Right, but Joni, just to follow up on that, it's going to take some time for the teachers to understand and be able to afford the phones that can allow them to do that. So they have one little phone to incorporate it into the learning space without the institution giving them phones for that or tablets for that. It's going to be hard. So yes, I agree with you. Totally.
Okay. And Philip said, more educational activities like night school for adults and programs like Jamal. Yeah, I think Jamal didn't Jamal go under Hard Trust? I know they have some adult training.
Jamal went under.
Oh, he went on Hard Trust.
Well, we can just even say it went under.
Okay, it went under. But I know they're doing it because I remember the former MP for North Trelawney used to do an education program that teach people how to read, like older people to read, and also for those who wanted to do CXC, like he was doing that where they trained them. So I know it's there, but I don't know who does it. I don't know if it's Hard Trust, but I know they had it in North Carolina.
At one point it was affiliated with Hard Trust, and it was lifelong learning. But the challenge for it was that people would not go, because once you begin to go to Jamal or lifelong learning, then somebody knows that you can't read, and nobody wants to go into an institution. So they had all of these about the place marked lifelong learning, which really translate to Jamal, and people don't want that. So there was a fall off in persons taking up the Jamal opportunities. They've supposedly put it under one community with National Youth Service and Hard Trust and the Jamaica Lifelong Learning. Don't know. The truth is that we need to get past the stigma. We need to get past these false labels that we give ourselves. If you can't read, you can't read. And you must want the advancement more than a label. You must want the
Yeah,
advancement for what it is for
more
you
than
and
that.
your family. So no concern. You go
Yeah.
Jamal. I remember when I was a young girl growing up, and my mother was a coordinator for 3 parishes in Jamal, and we would go with her to sessions at different hours of the night. I remember when they had a quiz, just like how they have the schools challenge quiz. They had a Jamal quiz, and the lady who won it, guess where she came from? She came from Clarendon, and
Oh,
mommy went
I
with
knew you
her
were
to take
going
her on
to
a
say
trip
that.
overseas and so forth. I remember them things there.
Yeah, but the thing is that you
Right.
can't even, the thing is that based on the statistic now, it's showing that a lot of people that you're seeing cannot read. All right. So you shouldn't even feel bad. No, because the numbers are really high. So just do it, do it for yourself. I'm more than likely your neighbor or somebody can read and write, but just go do it. So you can help your children. And how you don't want, because even if you have a business, you don't know how to read, or to conduct something, it's holding you back. So just do it for you, empower yourself. So you don't have to just listen to anybody. Where I lost comments.
Um,
Okay.
I don't know.
Do you see any?
Carl said the first world countries can pull up with Caribbean countries and support by sending computers and other resources
They
to
have.
help the less fortunate. Carl, the truth that is true, but the truth is to that by the time the team them come here and them sift through who must get it, it become a little political toy rather than go to the needy. So make us do it different under Jamaica first, where we know that we're targeting these 2 schools or these 2 communities for starters, and then we do these other 2. So we know where it's going and we can account one to the other for it. And we don't have to
Okay.
commit to sending phones and tablets and laptops. There are so many other ways that we can
You
support
can
these
train them. So,
mentor,
like the
mentor,
not
not
to,
just sit
like
down
I
and have
have
a
the heart.
training. Mentor
Yeah, you
them.
have the Jamaica Diaspora Task Force, Education Task Force. They do a
Yes,
lot of training, which is usually free to
yes.
train like educators, etc.
But
So
I
you
want
could tap
Jamaica
into that.
first to have a more intimate relationship where we're mentoring. So we identify 2 schools
You
and
could,
2 teachers
yeah, guide them.
to mentor them.
But let me read some of the comments because they seem to be disappearing the more they come in.
YouTube.
None on YouTube right now, but
Okay.
Carl said, I enjoy listening and seeing you 2 ladies. I live in Tampa, Florida, probably at 54 degrees today, the warmest place in America today. I love my ancestral home, but there are too many negatives, too many social issues, crime, education, corruption, and political strife. In fact, the Barbadian PM to give advice. Seems like Jamaica needs fresh thinking at the help. Both political parties have failed Jamaica. Well, we can't really ask Barbados still, because Barbados is a different country. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Jamaica is unique. So we have to figure it out amongst ourselves on how to fix Jamaica. Johnny
right. Let's
said,
tell Carl about Jamaica First, which is why we're having another political party, our online party called Jamaica First. And we all here going to join it and support it. So yes, you can contribute with your ideas. And I will call Prime Minister Mia and ask her for some advice too.
okay, Johnny said yes to get notification, then it stopped. I get a notification from otherjamaican.com shows yours doesn't come up. Even
What?
reach out to Xavier. I will subscribe to Leah's YouTube show to see if that helps with notification. Johnny
Okay.
said adopt 1 school at a time.
Yes, Joni, 1 school at a
School
time
at
is
a
the approach we're
time.
going to do.
Carl said
I have to
pun
agree. And it's school
intended.
don't have to be in Clarendon and it's not going to be in Trelawney,
No,
somewhere.
who says it's not going to be in Chilani? Let's do the pilot in Chilani and see how that works out. Jody said, also, I know sources that may possibly help teachers become more tech savvy. We'll research about it and gather information.
We
Thank
have a
you,
minister
research.
of education. Look there, Jody already. Jody.
Okay. Erica said, I received the notification today, but seem to have stopped for you guys. Huh.
What?
Love you're here. We'll have to ask Leah to look into that. Michelle
Thanks.
said, love you're here, Diana. Michael said, Dr. Diana, do you remember the payment by result payment system for teachers? When was
Oh,
that,
I
Michael?
call your data safe around here for me. I don't remember that. So you have to come explain it to us.
Maybe they should go back because the teacher should be accountable.
Yes, at some point when you give them the support system, I agreed with it, but give them the support first. Give them.
So they don't have enough support. I
No, they
guess it
don't have enough
depends on
support.
schools. Well, I get, but they need to do something. Either put in more remedial teachers in to help these students that they can identify that are not able to read. But it's so funny, while I'm talking, I remember like one of the children I know, he wasn't able to read, which I was surprised, but he started high school. But he said his school, let me just say this, I think it's Brownstone Technical or high school.
High school.
But I guess, the principals though, what they did was identified students like himself and were doing remedial pro. Oh, Leo, come on. Watch here. Leo, come on.
Leo, come on.
Hello.
You done your homework? Yeah, come and say hello. You done your homework?
Can you believe it? I the first me ever done the homework one time. Jesus, peace.
It's been much better. I say, man, this week, when you tell me, say, done one whole paper on time too.
Listen, I've been so productive this week. I can't believe it, you know. Normally, me I stress out. I may say, Jesus, peace, me have one show this morning. They want show this evening. I mean, I have no time for homework. So I'm happy. I'm very happy. I'm happy so I get rid of now.
Me happy say you get rid of the homework, Leo. Happy say you get rid of the homework. We're afraid for you.
Who that? Is a guest that in the long here? Who's that person in the long here?
That is host Michelle Fanger.
You don't have to switch it up.
Jesus. What?
So you're scandalous. You come and cause scandal for Michelle and you just
Oh, I love the topics this morning. I love what you guys are talking about. Why don't want to make me concentrate on my work?
There's something that are good distractions. Oh gosh, but we're happy to see, and we're more so as an educator happy because we're talking about the education sector, Leo, and it's tragic.
I was so surprised. I spoke with several teachers between last week and this week, and what they are saying. In fact, one of them said to me, Leo, listen to this carefully. One of them said to me, I was moved from grade 1 to grade 4 to teach. And
two different
somebody told me that too.
And it jumped from early childhood to primary. That can't.
No, but that's okay because she was trained for primary education.
Okay.
And so she's now teaching at the grade 4 and finding out that half of her class is not yet at the grade 1 level that she was teaching.
Wow.
Half of her class.
Possible.
And then I spoke with another teacher later on in the week. And she said the same thing to me, that half of our grade 5 students are still at about grade 2. Half. Okay, so here's what has taken place, right? 1, we had 2 years of lapse of education, which means whatever they have learned in those previous years, those 2 years, they have lost.
Yeah.
So then they just lose it, so then gone back.
They've gone back and they have not gained anything that was supposed to take them 2 more years. So they lost 4 years of learning. 4 years of learning that is being lost.
2 steps backward plus the other 2 years.
2 steps backwards and 2 steps forward. That's exactly right. They lost that. Okay. And so therefore, we have a lot of problems in Jamaica that need to be addressed in the education system. Huge, big problem. Our future, it was just decimated for the past couple of years.
Tear up.
Mash up. And so we need to do something.
I hope we're not depressing Carl, because Carl was just lamenting that we need all his help, and then we come and gone into the facts of the situation, these personal interviews with teachers. But true, Leo, I know what you're saying is spot on correct. And add to the fact that the report by Orlando Patterson looked at 2019, which was pre-pandemic.
It was pre-pandemic. Yes.
So, okay, Leo, somebody just got to comment. Jude said, Leo. Sandra said, yeah, Leo is back. Carol said, I am aboard in Jamaica first. I am trained in Jamaica at the teacher abroad. VM said, hello, Leo. Nice to see you. Johnny said, hi, Leo, on study break. Are you miss us?
Both.
Michael said, in the early part of the 1900s, teachers were being paid by children exam results. Teachers passed majority, so system was abandoned due to teacher abuse.
I remember it's just based on performance, that kind of performance. But I don't believe that teachers should be based on no performance.
No, teachers don't control all the stakes for that.
No, you can't do that at all. And in fact, I'll tell you this, that they're coming out with a new bill. It's still in process. It's called the JTC, the Jamaica Teaching Council bill.
Yes.
And it has some things in there that, me not agree with.
And the teachers don't agree with either.
And I'm sure that's why it not come to fruition yet. But I do agree that teachers need to get refresher courses every year.
Yeah.
Professional development courses. I do believe that CEUs are very, very important because it keeps you fresh and keeps you abreast.
Yeah. Lorna said, good morning. Also happy to see the roaring Leo. Michelle said, my sisters are teachers and find that some teachers are just going through the motion because they feel stressed with little support from the ministry. Erica said, hello, Leo. How are you doing? Vada said, welcome, Leo. Peter said, Leo is back. Kemish said, should not be on performance.
Right.
No, it shouldn't be.
Yeah, it should. That's true, but
there are everything in life that we do. There are going to be people who are not performing up to scratch, and as long as the system is in place to take care of that, it will take care of it. Just don't send them to jail. Just don't send them to jail.
I don't see any comments on YouTube. I guess they got frustrated.
Nobody not there. No, they're there. Make them talk.
They're there. Same thing. Make them know say they're there.
We tell them so we're here. I couldn't pull it up this old phone.
Well,
and I guess it wasn't working.
No comment. You have to go find a new man.
Michelle, no worry, we're gonna send on phone for you.
Not true. Okay. Michael said, don't forget the Prime Minister's son do not attend public schools.
Yep.
Well,
Michelle Carr says,
good.
yes, as a RN, I need CEUs to renew. She needs to do those development.
Your license.
Units.
Yes.
Yeah,
and as part of the JTC bill, they are coming up with CEUs. The nurses in Jamaica require CEUs, and trust me,
and lawyers.
We are Jamaica.
Yeah, we have to keep doing training.
Huh?
No, I said as attorneys, we have to keep doing training.
Right. Most of us, insurance agents, everybody has to do CEUs to
insurance agents have to do it too.
Every year.
There's only education, which is the backbone of the country, now do it.
Everybody has to
they need to do it.
Everybody. And it hurt me too, but let me tell you something. Whenever I go through those trainings online, I learn something new. I always learn something new that I can apply. It's pretty cool, Yeah,
Johnny said, yes, refreshers are good. Also, additional courses to expand teachers' experience, skill level. VM said, some people enter profession just because of money.
Well, they come at education for money, for no money not in there. That's why I want them who not have nothing else to come.
Yeah.
Well,
Kamisha said,
education because of money, but because I know had a profession.
Yeah.
And because, being in a Rockabessa, coming from a Rockabessa, the country part of St. Mary, right? Remember that part there? We never had a lot of opportunities to go to college back in the 1970s. Only people in Kingston used to get them the kind of opportunity. Jesus, peace, And so
the people in Montego Bay, because they had some sharp teachers college. So you had Kenwood and
some sharp teachers college. It was only 5 years old.
Okay.
All right. All right. Okay. So go.
But when they get educated, why do they join the profession? No. A lot of them come to us as a teacher training institution, and it's almost as if it's a last resort. They don't go through high school saying, I want to become a teacher. I want to become a teacher.
Right.
Yeah, that is true. Because I remember when I was in Jamaica, a few people, I remember if you want to go to law school, it went kind of hard back then. So they would go to teaching and then start courses at UWI and then get into the law program.
Yeah, because
Or if they want to
wanna
become a
make money
doctor.
first.
Yeah, because they weren't able to get into the program. They were
But
selected.
one of the things that I suggested to my school, my high school, right? Because in your school, Clarendon College, Westwood, you have, once you go to the school, it's like you have no option other than to be an attorney, a doctor, whatever it is. Right?
Yeah.
When you go to secondary school,
vocational,
it's just a place to go to sit down for 6 hours and then go home. That's it. You don't have the outlook and you don't have the kind of
guidance
that's required. So one of the things that I talk to my principal about is listen, at least let's put up some sign around the school grounds that says, I want to be.
Yeah, that's to motivate them.
That's the modeling. But let me tell you something. It's the worst place. It's like a jail you go.
That is true. They have to change the outlook, student. I have people like Leo come back and talk to them and show them the other side.
Absolutely.
Like it can be anything.
Absolutely.
Yes. But I think, Leo, that what is important is for all schools to recognize that they need to provide some career guidance. Parents don't always know it. There are some things that people can become these days that we never even know exist.
That is true.
When some people get up and tell you they want to be hero this and hero that, you say, what? You thought the furthest thing they would do is astronaut and pilot.
Exactly.
So we need to have more career guidance for students.
And some of those careers make a lot of money.
Yes.
My friend is an anesthesiologist, but she was supposed, going towards being a doctor. Exactly. I met a researcher. Oh my God, they make money. All right, other comments are coming in. Kamisha said CEU should be a must. Some teachers recommend remedial aid, however, parents overrule. Father said teachers need more pay.
I agree.
Carr said that's Jamaica problem. The people in authority disregard the teachers instead of getting their input.
Yes.
Too many ridiculous so-called bills that only worsen the problems. Joni said IT folks via recertification and ongoing learning.
Yes.
Kamish said everywhere teachers need pay increase.
Michelle said
in
Jamaica, in America, we don't get a fair amount versus us down here, but perhaps everything is really
they hardly pay, especially in Florida. Kemi said, I love Oraca Bessa. My family is still there.
Kemi said, no children are the worst thing you could have said. Here, Leo.
Philip said, no children should pass grade 2 without being able to read or write. Michelle said, teachers should be better compensated because all our professionals are taught by teachers. Marcia said, the more I'm here listening, I can certainly say that Jamaica really need a change and in all aspects for a better Jamaica. Okay, not just crispy, pretty uniforms.
I am going to announce something right now that became clear to me in the past 2 months.
Yes.
Right? So when I was growing up as a little child, I remember my father and my mother were so proud that their son was going to be a doctor because that I wanted to be. Before I took common entrance, I wanted to be a doctor. And when they lose common entrance, I may lose grade 9. All of that lick out of my head. Honestly to God.
I all what list now.
Exactly. So when I got a chance to go to college, listen to this now. When I got a chance to go to college, I had 3 options on the application to choose. I choose 3 options. Michael, Samshab, and League. Right? Okay. Now, I really, really wanted to go to Michael.
Mm-hmm.
Because me lose on common entrance and me lose on grade 9 achievement, Mr. Me not think me I go get into Michael because the competition is outward. So I choose the school as my first choice, Sam Sharp, which is the newest school, to make sure somebody enter into college. That's the one reason why I went. The next thing that I want to say is that I also know in the past 2 months, remember that I made a promise to my mother and my father that I want to be a doctor. So this PhD means a lot to me.
Oh, yeah.
You understand?
That is good.
All right.
And to us too. You make another sacrifice.
And we're gonna make sure so you get it. If we have
With that graduation.
you throw you off, I sure we're gonna make sure so you do it before you come here morning time.
Hey, Johnny said, what is the state?
Oh, listen, me, I come here.
Yes, we'll tell you say you come here.
Anytime, anytime.
When you done your work.
Johnny said, what is the state of guidance counseling in Jamaica? Does it exist? Yes, they have them. Every school have one, right?
Very many.
Not every school. Not every school.
Serving.
Oh, really? Oh,
1,500
I guess that's a thing.
And some have one in every 2-3 high school, much more.
Yeah,
no, they all don't have them. We need them.
Basic school don't have much.
No,
they don't
have none. Infant school have 1 and 2. Primary schools have 1 and 2, depending on the size of the primary school. If they have more than a certain amount, then them put 1 in there or something. But they're very, very important. But it's just recently that we start developing a curriculum that will accommodate guidance counseling as a part of it.
Okay, let me hurry up read through these comments because some people can't know reading. Right. Michelle said, agree, Diana. Johnny said, amen, Dr. Diana. Remove the mentality that you can only be lawyer, doctor, accountant, or teacher. That is true. Carl said, is funding for schools equitable in Jamaica? Why do some schools perform better than others?
That's another conversation. We talk about
for
that
another day.
Separate show.
Yeah, are all teachers trained the same way? Michelle said every student should leave school with at least a skill.
The same, yes.
Because not everyone can go to college. Michael said during the 70s, my junior secondary school were more equipped than the best traditional high school, but no teacher would allow the student to attend one. Patricia said, I have stepped away for a minute. I thought I was hearing voices. I see Leo. Couldn't stay away. Camille said, I am not a teacher. Camille said, I'm a health service manager. Bruno said, 15 years ago, teachers were well-respected people. And even if they didn't make big money, if we can't pay more teachers, at least we should pay more attention, more consideration, just like nurses. Before the pandemic, no one ever cared about their struggles at work. Johnny said, I started on the path to be a doctor, medical doctor, or scientist, ended up becoming a doctor in IT, specializing in healthcare and health insurance delivery implementation.
As Joni,
Father said,
no, hold on. That's interesting because we need to talk to Joni.
Yeah, Joni.
I never know that you could do IT, specializing in healthcare and health insurance and implementations. See, that's a totally different. But Leo, you did
that's a very unique area. Very
unique.
Nice. Like that.
Yeah. Father said, even in the US here, some of the states, teachers often to buy stuff for some of the children. And Johnny said, where were the guidance counselors during the COVID-19 shutdown?
Then they shut down too.
So listen, one of the problems with guidance counselors have in Jamaica is additional resources to help them to plan their day. You know, an incident with one child in a primary school can take the whole day from a guidance counselor. And they're required sometimes to go to people's homes and all, and something there. It's really a tough situation for guidance counselors. They need a whole heap of resources. So if you know how we can get them, we have designed a program to help specifically guidance counselors from the Jamaica Diaspora Task Force Action Network. And it's helping, but they need a lot of help. Guidance counselors, some of them, once they left college, they get no more training. And they're the mental and emotional experts for schools. And if they don't get support, they can't support them either themselves. A lot of them leave them homes that they needed mental support, emotional support. They become guidance counselors. They don't know how to transition. They don't know how to separate and compartmentalize, and everything just get mixed up. So they need a lot of support.
All right. As we think about what Leo has put on the table, and everybody had said that we would look at education, perhaps we could be specific that we would start by supporting the mental health of supporting our guidance counselors. So rather than running around trying to track out tablet and all of these things to support, let us figure out how can we find supporting systems and sessions and material for the guidance counselors.
Yeah, and that's what JD does though.
Yes.
We provide the support. We play that provided tablets and the money, but that's what we do, which serves a bigger purpose, you know, it's needed. So, you know, good job, JD Tan. And I'm also a part of that. You know?
As a chair and deputy chair, I have to commend you guys. On a serious note, putting fun and joke aside, there are times when we have to celebrate the success that we have, the initiatives and the sense of philanthropy that all of you people in foreign who endure the cold and the heat and the no pain at this and the no pain at that and the train ride and the subways, just to make Jamaica a little bit more better. We appreciate it. I appreciate it. I don't get no barrel, but you know, I really understand.
We send one barrel for you, and you don't have one phone too. You don't have one phone.
We don't want no phone.
Okay.
I never beg you no phone. So no send no phone. Come give me phone. I never did beg your phone.
You want the phone? Okay.
Everyone, you know, so what they do. Michelle said, Leo, I'm with you. 28 years ago, I started UWI to be an RN, and my dream was realized 6 years ago after migrating to the US. So it's never too late. Michael said, Leo, are they guidance counselors or social workers?
Michelle, let us celebrate that.
No, we celebrate. Congratulations.
It's a big thing. We can't skip over it.
No, man, it's a big thing because too many
28 years ago.
Instant success.
Yeah, man. She said,
killing the nation. This
a lot of us are looking for that. Yeah,
don't give up, people. Don't give up.
I got to a nurse for 28 years.
Yeah.
No. Because she said she was a nurse. And she,
no, she said She started 20 years ago, but she just realized it's 6 years ago.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, yeah, that's
never too late to chase.
Amazing. I love that work. I love that.
Yes.
That's a story to tell over and over and over again.
Yes.
Yeah, it's never too late. But you start seeing it because when you talk about reading, you see other people now getting their certification for reading that could never read a day in their life.
Certificate. Certificate.
No, it's certificate.
Certificate. Okay. Camisa, guidance counselors are the social workers here and teachers combined. Joni said the guidance counselors sound like multifaceted. They should be behavioral and discipline separate from career and higher education counselors. No one GC should be stretched.
Guidance counselor be stretched.
Guidance counselor should be stretched.
But yes, they're stretched.
Exactly. Exactly. Doctor, you make a lot of sense. Maybe you should be advising the authorities. I use that word authorities loosely. Michelle said, she said she had a baby. You see, she had a baby, she stopped, but it didn't stop her from realizing her dream.
Right. But 6 years ago, that's fabulous. And baby, big grown ass now. Very good.
I am so impressed with her because, you know, she could have lost that drive by the way.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. And but she still had it in mind. Listen, I'm applauding you. That's a big thing, and you should tell your story.
Yeah, that's just major.
You should tell a story.
That is major.
Just an aside, Leo, I like that Jamaica frequency shirt.
Yeah, what's that?
Take your eye off of my shirt. Take your eye off of my shirt. Take your eye off of my shirt.
I do laundry for you.
I already promise you. We'll call it phone. Take your eye off of my shirt.
Me say me no want no phone. Me never beg you no phone.
You know what? Leo can't spite me now. You know I cannot be so. Whatever. Let me fix my hair. I will get that phone. Yeah. Okay. Oh my. Michelle says she wants one Leo. She wants your jersey.
Yeah, we want no. I mean, you're really super. The frequency Jamaica thing, nice.
It's nice, unique. I was looking at it, but I was not going to be red eye and say
it's not red eye. I'm just saying that it's nice and me like.
No, red eye.
And me want to washing. Me we do the laundry for him because I want this to wash.
Yeah, but it's unique. I've never seen it before. I'm a one. But don't let it be like the phone.
I am not going to allow you to know what my address is at all. Take me
Right,
PO
Leo.
box address. Okay.
we have folks all over. We got you covered.
Okay, I think we're running out now.
Yeah, but
Right.
Michelle, there are certain things we need to remind people that as we focus on Jamaica 60, we're asking them to nominate individuals who they want for us to celebrate, and we're starting to recognize and celebrate these individuals starting February. So
Yeah.
please send us information. If it's somebody public that we can Google and find, sure. If it's somebody who close and dearest to our heart and who want to write a little script about them, share it, because we're going to set time aside to celebrate at least 60 such individuals. So tell us about that person in your community. It might be your mother, your grandmother, somebody, or it might be Miss Lou or Michelle or Leo, whatever it is. Send us so we can celebrate these Jamaicans. Don't forget.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
Okay, it was a good show.
I'm
Glad Leo came
I'm
on.
glad I joined in.
Yeah, I'm glad you came on.
The only thing is that I don't want anybody to be jealous of my goddamn t-shirt. I mean,
But Patricia Bond says that Dan or Leo already promised the shirt to someone else. Leo, you promised the shirt to somebody else?
I'm talking to nobody about my shirt. More on my shirt. Finish one. Yeah.
Leo, you promised the shirt to anybody else? You don't answer the question. Michelle?
No, I did not promise my
I
shirt.
think
to
he
nobody
did.
else.
Okay.
Mm.
Yes, Philip, nominate from any person that is your conviction, not mine, not Michelle's. You choose whichever category. It might be a farmer in the community and you want to tell us about them. It might be somebody who taught you in school or taught within the community. It might be somebody big like a Miss Lou that you want us to celebrate. We want to celebrate people. 60, let us go forward. And Joni, we have Tuesday show. So we don't know how you reach our next week. Oh, next week or Tuesday too, no? All right.
Yes, everybody. Yes, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks, Leo. Thank you, Leo, for joining us. You were missed. So
Yes,
thank you for joining.
It was
And
an excellent show.
and remember everybody to tune in Tuesdays, right?
At 9
And
o'clock.
Saturday, 9 o'clock.
It's at 9
Yeah.
p.m.
Mm-hmm.
And
So I don't know what time this was start on Saturday morning.
That's all
Saturdays are 10
like,
o'clock. 10 to 12. Saturdays 10 to 12.
everything I
And
go.
Tuesday nights is 9 to 10 p.m. We do 1 hour on Tuesday night. We talk about all things just like we do here. We know that we have another kind of audience for people who running up and down Saturday. They tend to be there on Tuesday night and we talk serious matters. But I mean, it was a great show, Leo. We're so happy to see you and have you here. We appreciate that you've done your homework and it's an excellent example. We're happy that you shared too what is driving you without doctoral program. Because nowhere sit down upon you. Huh? No.
And as always, COVID is still a thing. Before I say that, remember to share, tell your family and friends we're on, join us on the days we're available. And remember, COVID is still a thing. So if you're not going to get the vaccine, sanitize, social distance, wear your mask. I think double up on your mask.
Yes.
Right? And protect yourself, protect your community. We want the children in school. We want the economy to keep flowing. So, and have a wonderful rest of Saturday afternoon.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Leo.
Leo, say something.
Oh, and Leo playing music later, so I can find him where he plays music at the same
DJ Leo and the 1, 2, 3
YouTube.
Well, the one thing that I took away this morning was two, Joni and the lady who got her
I think it's Michelle.
Those are big time stories for me. It feels like me, because I mean, generally we don't make it outside of our communities. So when I hear these kind of stories, it makes me feel good that people are making it outside of their communities and living the dream that they wanted to in the first place. Because there's a lot of things to stop us on the way. Only but things to stop us and to side track us. But I'm glad to hear about it, especially that nurse. Wow, really nice.
Yeah, after 20 odd years, she still pursued her dream, accomplished it 6 years ago, and that is something worth celebrating. Let
Yeah,
us
it is.
encourage our communities, our family members to be more mindful of children. Let us exhibit what we preach about. Let us tolerate the differences in each other in ways to be productive and collaborative. Let us communicate better, and let us seek to support ourselves fundamentally. Take care of your mental health so you can help somebody else. Love you.
One love.
Yep.
All right.